Hey, what's good, y'all? Agamas here today, and today we're going to be taking a look at artifacts in Rogue Lineage, and we're going to be reviewing them, each of them, and then I'm going to be rating them in terms of their viability and like how useful they are, and I'm going to put them in a little tier list. So, first, we're going to start off with the PD, right, Phoenix Down. I'm obviously going to put it at C tier because, compared to all these other artifacts, while it's useful, there's so many of them. It's not really an issue to try and get them anymore. While it has gone up in price recently, over like the last few months, due to Blacksmith coming out, it's still not that hard to get one, and a lot of good players have like an abundance of these. Next, Ice Essence, that's also going in C tier. It rose up in popularity or in price because of the fact that it was getting rare and that a lot of people use it in K, but again, it's not too difficult to get. You can get it if you reasonably try, and given enough days, you should be able to get these two in time. All right, and then question mark, obviously C tier. Like you can find these on like the daily if you play just regularly. Now we're gonna move on to the actual part of the tier list. We just have to get those three out the way. First off, I believe I'm gonna start off with Howler Friend, B tier. Who could have seen this coming? But with Howler Friend, you have to have gate in order to make use of it. So in a way, you kind of already have to have another artifact to even use this artifact in the first place. Sure, you might be going around Tundra sometimes, but unless you're a spy, you're not going to take a Howler and bring it all the way to Or's Fall. It's not very useful if you don't have gate, and so the fact that you need another artifact to even use this artifact in the first place or to be useful is just not very good. Next in B tier, I believe I'm going to be putting Scroom Key. Now, when it comes to Scroom Key, it's pretty valuable because of the fact that it's pretty rare, and Meta Scroom is pretty good in my opinion. However, in terms of viability, right? Meta Scroom is okay. It's pretty good. However, there's been a good amount of Meta Scroom nerfs recently. I've been trying to decompose and exhaust mid combo, and I can't do it as often. And they also patched the mana shield while decomposing thing, and the decomposed exhaust while getting gripped. So a lot of like Meta Scream's tricks you can't really do anymore. So now the class is just kind of like Gain but without the armor. Before with the decomposed exhaust it was pretty useful, but now it's just like you're literally just Gain without the armor because it's really hard. I don't know why you can't do it anymore, but I guess it's just because of the nerfs. And again, it's only applicable to Screams if you find this, so most likely you're going to be trading this anyway for maybe one of these. Next up, Nightstone. I'm going to put Nightstone at B tier. Now, Nightstone is actually still very viable. I think, depending on how I rank these, I might move up to A, but it's pretty viable because of the fact that it affects the whole server, right? There might be some changes coming to this like soon, from what I hear, but right now it affects those servers, so it can be pretty useful if you have an Elder Vamp like friend and he has a Nightstone and you're like, oh, you guys can go gank, he has vampires, right? Or a Nightstone, right? Very useful. The only thing I hope is that the only thing that people hope is that they don't like make it localized, but some people are hoping for that as well, so you can't just like glitch a server out. But for now I'm just putting in B tier because other than that it just turns night, like nothing, no really big combat advantages, it just turns night. Next up, I'm gonna put Spider Cloak in B tier. Now, some people might be like, "Wait, Spider Cloak in B tier?" But my Spider Cloak D Sage, pause. Your Spider Cloak D Sage. D Sage, that's literally the only class it's very useful for. I see people maybe going Spider Cloak Spy. I see that sometimes. But other than that, you're not really going to be popping one of these on like a sigil. You're going to need that health. Now, I have seen a Spider Cloak Deep Knight before, a very interesting build, but again, you're not really going to be popping it on those unless you want to try a little unique build, which may not even be as good as you think. So again, it's very good for the classes that it works for, but in terms of viability, it's not really doing anything for the majority of players, you know what I mean? So if you find this and you couldn't trade it, you'd be like, damn, like I'm an Abyss Walker, like what am I gonna do with this? Unless you're a speed Abyss Walker, but again, like you're gonna get one comboed by that Fair Frozen D Slayer and you're gonna be sad. So we're gonna move on to the next. I believe the next one we can do is probably Filo Stone. I'm gonna put that in A tier. Extremely viable for all mages. Now the thing is, in terms of viability, right? Some people might be like, oh, well, you can only use it for mages. but you can use it for all mage classes. See, Spider Cloak is restricted to one like specific class, and you can maybe use it for other classes, but with Filo there's no drawbacks. There's a health drawback for this. There are no drawbacks, and it is really good because you can't backfire. You don't have to worry about backfiring, which is pretty amazing in my opinion. So it's just it's an advantage. It's just a free add-on, no drawbacks whatsoever. It's just a free add-on. So Filo, I'm gonna put that in A tier. I think next we can do Rift Gem. It's Gate, like you get Gate. Like, do I have to say anything else? It's just you get Gate. Very useful spell. I'm only having Phoenix Feather here as like a nice little side add-on for the end. Lannis, come on, man, Lannis. You can never go wrong with popping a Lannis. As I think in my opinion, it might be the best artifact because of how versatile it is. You can never go wrong with popping a Lannis. It's always going to be helpful to just not have to get Ignis once, getting that free iframes. Very useful. I think it's the most versatile artifact, and that's why I think it's the best artifact, but that's just my opinion. Fair Frozen next up, I'm going to put it in A tier as well. Personally, I think that while again you can use it for multiple classes, but you can use it for multiple classes like maybe Spy besides D-Slayer and Deep Knight, but other than that you're not really going to be seeing much use of it. However, it's a free add-on. It's a little bit more damage than Mithril, I think, and you get Sub-Zero Strike, which alone you're reducing your enemy's health and you're giving them Frostbite, so you can easily freeze them to death. It's a free add-on, no drawbacks. It's a little bit more versatile than Spider Cloak, which is really nice, and yeah, just an overall good artifact. Finally, White King's Amulet. I'm gonna put that in A because I was thinking about personally putting in B, but Cameo is still pretty good in my opinion. But like for a lot of times, you can't really go Cameo unless you're planning to like not be mobility, or unless you're planning to be mobility. So like the thing is with Cameo, if you're getting ganked, right? And your friends say, oh, log, and you can't log as a Cameo, you know what I mean, you're going to be losing 4 of those lives a lot of the time if you're not a Faceless or a Shinobi or a Spy. If you're like a Sigil Knight, maybe an Abyss, but if you're like a Sigil Knight, something slow, and you can't use that Snap Gelidus, you're done for, man. They're gonna take all your lives down. So yeah, I think personally you can use it for any class if you really want to, but it's really only restricted to mobility classes. And the one drawback, there's a lot of drawbacks actually, you can't use like spells. You can use Mana Shield thankfully, but you can't use spells. No vampire regen is actually quite slow if I remember. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of like bordering in my opinion, but it's still fair. It's still very fun to play as a Cameo. You're still threatening. You're like, oh, it's a Cameo, you know what I mean? Oh, they have a Cameo with them. Like if you're in a gank and they're like, oh, they have a Cameo with them, like, oh, now you're like, like, oh, dang, this is a real gank. And then finally, Phoenix Feather. If it was still in the game, obviously A tier. I'd probably put it the best artifact. Well, this was good. This was good. Like, oh my, that's free regen. Like, who wouldn't take free regen? Like, you wouldn't have to go vampire if you had this, but you already know, it's free regen. Just eat your meat. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reason why I made Chef good. But yeah, other than that, I think this is the finished tier list talking about artifacts. Also, shout out to the guy who wanted me to make this tier list. He said don't tell him his name, but he did say shout out to him. So thank you for this idea. Again, if you guys want me to review anything else, let me know, but I think those are my personal opinions on the artifacts. If you disagree, please let me know in the comments below. I'll be glad to say something back. But I think this is a pretty decent tier list in my opinion, so I'll be seeing you guys later, and new videos to come soon. Peace.